Today I wanted to compare Gilead Sciences with Biogen. Let's start off with the numbers. Let's look at Biogen. I decided to boil it down to 6 key financial datas. There is many more numbers you can use or datas or DCF models, but for simplification reasons, let's just boil it down to 6. Let's start off with the revenue. In 2017, it had 12.3 billion. In 2019, it had ended with 14.4 billion in revenue. That is an annual growth rate of 8.23%. When we look at its gross profit margins, it had 86.40% in 2019. In 2017, it had 4.5 billion in operating cash flow. 2 years later, in 2019, it had 7 billion. That is a 24.72% annual growth rate. Now, let's go down to its cash and cash equivalents. In 2017, it had 3.7 billion. 2019, it ended with 4.5 billion cash and cash equivalents. That is a 10.15% annual growth rate. Those are 4 out of 6 financial datas that Biogen did better than Gilead Sciences. Now let's look at Gilead Sciences, the 2 out of 6 where Gilead Sciences did better than Biogen. In 2017, it had 20.4 billion. In 2019, it ended with 22.5 billion in total equity. That is a 4.97% growth rate. Now let's look at its current ratio. When you compare it to Biogen, you would have to say that it is a better current ratio. That could be a little more debatable because you could argue, depending how you viewed it, if you are more conservative or not, you could argue, well, Gilead Sciences could have acquired more companies and acquired more assets and goodwill to its advantage. Matter of fact, it just wasted its resources. But I'm just going to give that to Gilead Sciences, for argument's sake. So far, Biogen 1, Gilead Sciences 0. Let's jump into some other key data. Let's start with Biogen and its 3 biggest revenue resource generators. Tecfidera, which generates 4.4 billion in revenue. It's an MS treatment. Its patent expires in 2025. Interferon, which is another multiple sclerosis treatment. It generates 2.1 billion. Its patent expires in 2024. Spinraza, which is a spinal muscular atrophy treatment, generates 2 billion in revenue. Its patent expires in 2028. Let's compare this to Gilead's top 3 resource generators. Biktarvy, which generates 4.7 billion in revenue. Its patent expires 2033. Then we have another HIV medication, Genvoya, which generates 3.9 billion. Its patent expires in 2028. Then finally, Gilead's last and 3rd biggest revenue generator, Truvada, which generates 2.8 billion. Its patent expires in 2021. Now with this patent, its Europe patent expired in 2017, but its US patent doesn't expire until 2021. So you can say it's almost expired, but when you compare each of its patents and when they expire, because that is how you analyze pharmaceutical companies, you compare its patents and pipelines. From there, you can use other comparative analysis and things of that nature. Those are usually the 2 biggest ways people compare these type of companies. For the patents, I would say it's equal. It's true that Gilead's biggest revenue generator doesn't expire till 2033, but at the same time, its 3rd biggest revenue generator has already expired. So I'd say it's fair. It's equal. Again, it's Biogen 1 and Gilead 0. Let's jump back over to Biogen. When I was looking at its top brass turnover rate, to me it appeared low. When I tried finding Gilead's top brass turnover rate, I was not successful at achieving that objective. While going through its 10Ks and 10Qs, I could not find it. I may in the future might have to dig a little bit deeper into other resources to see if I can find the exact dates. It still stands Biogen 1, Gilead Sciences 0. Let's jump down to the last part, that I wanted to go over. For Biogen, they had 5 stage 3 pipeline drugs, 2 in Alzheimer's disease. Then for Gilead Sciences, they had 10 stage 3 pipeline drugs, 1 in HIV treatment. They also have a drug they're trying to get past stage 3, and this will fight against the coronavirus. With Biogen, what you're hoping is that its MS treatments and its 2 Alzheimer's phase 3 drugs will bring enough revenue growth that is similar to what is growing at right now, if not better. With Gilead Sciences, you're hoping that its HIV treatment and its pipelines will bring in enough revenue to help bring back the past it had and the growth that was present a couple years ago with its Hep C medication. Now, you could argue with Biogen's 5 stage 3 pipeline drugs that it is the equivalent to Gilead's 10 stage 3 pipeline drugs because Biogen is a smaller company. Now, that being said, Biogen still has 1, Gilead Sciences 0, Biogen for the win.